The olive trees themselves are a fascinating little tree, and they tend to be a little bit slow growing, but they also have, they kind of have, in a way, I don't know, it's intrinsically a life of their own.
We gotta farm the ground, lay out the rows, depend how do you want to plant it by the feet. So we got here 11 by 5 between rows. Then let the tree grow up.
We have about 15 acres planted, which amounts to about 11,000 trees. And these are mainly the Arbequina variety. You harvest your trees. It's a late harvest. It's probably like mid to late November. Once you pick the fruit from the trees, it starts to break down. The whole idea is to maximize the amount of antioxidants that you have in the olive oil. So the whole idea is to do this as quickly as possible.
The one thing about Oregon, which we're blessed with, is cool weather. And while there's many challenges with growing olives and making olive oil here in the Great Northwest, we're blessed with a cool climate. When we receive these olives, ordinarily in the Mediterranean climates, you would have to get them almost immediately into the crusher. But here, with our temperatures really not exceeding much over 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, the olives do stay cool, and we're blessed with being able to not have to process them quite so quickly. But the time is still of utmost importance to get them processed and into oil. Each bin gets weighed separately, and we track those weights because it's very important that we know the weights as they go into the crushing, so that we understand exactly how much oil we're extracting. The nuances of the line are important to know exactly what your yield is so that you can make oil in the proper quantity.
So olives come here and start to be passed through this machine that keeps out the leaves separe the leaves from the olives and prepare the olives to be washed in the washing machine. Olives without leaves fell down in this washing machine where they are prepared, cleaned, and prepared to be crushed in the hammer crusher.
From here it goes up through an auger up into the hammer crusher, and this is where the olive is made into a paste.
Now the paste is ready to be worked inside the malaxer. A warm water jacket warms up the paste for 40–45 minutes.
We transfer the oil out of the malaxer with this paste pump, and with the paste pump then we move into the decanter or the horizontal centrifuge. This is a two-phase separation process. We're basically removing the solids, the pit, the skin, the pulp from the oil and the water. And so it's done via a high-speed centrifuge, and we separate out the paste and pit and solids from here. And on this end, we receive oil and water.
This is the last step of our extraction process. The oil with some water inside comes from the decanter and goes inside this separator. This is a vertical centrifuge. It's used to separate the last drops of water inside the oil from the fresh olive juice we will have here at the end of the process.
We then use this small pump to pump the oil into the large storage tanks, which are held in the bottling room. When the oil first arrives to the tanks, it's classified oleo nouveau, new oil. It settles out for approximately 60 days. You can see you have clear oil that's newer, and then the old sediment is starting to fall to the bottom. After 60 days, we actually press off or filter off the sediment, and then we have oil available for bottling. Once the oil has settled into the tank and we've removed all sediment from the bottom, the oil is ready to then be pumped to the bottling line. Once the bottling is completed, we then take the bottles, cork them, label them. We have our finished product of extra virgin olive oil.